Welcome everyone to Ratioed. My name is Harrison Faulkner. Well, in the game of politics, getting heckled at and listening to people boo you is just really the cost of doing business. But if you're Justin Trudeau, getting yelled at and heckled at is a near daily occurrence at this point. But even Trudeau, probably wasn't expecting to get heckled while speaking at the 3rd anniversary memorial service of the downing of Flight 752. Even at a memorial service, Canadians are still heckling the guy.
We are all working together at this federal level.
The reality is, this guy gets heckled wherever he goes, whether it's in Toronto, at the Calgary Stampede, or even in London, England. It seems as though there's nothing he can do to escape it. Drop a like in the video, help us out by subscribing to the True North YouTube channel, and the comment question for the episode is this: what would you like to see the Prime Minister and other politicians in this country do to lower the political temperature? Let me know in the comments, and let's get into it. Even while speaking at a memorial service for the anniversary of the downing of Flight 752, Justin Trudeau couldn't escape the heckles and jeers from Canadians in the crowd. Watch this.
Majid Jahari, who is also a strong advocate for the community. We are all working together at this federal level to hold the Iranian regime accountable. We need closure in order to heal, and Iran's refusal to be held accountable is denying you that.
The Islamic Republic, Mr. Prime Minister, not Iran.
Well said.
What you just saw there was Justin Trudeau receiving a chorus of boos and jeers from the crowd at the memorial service for bringing up the name of Iranian-born Liberal MP for Richmond Hill, Majid Jahari. The main reason for the jeers is that Jahari's critics accuse him of being soft on the Islamic regime and for harboring ties with members of the regime in Canada. At a previous Flight 752 ceremony last year, event organizers prevented Jahari from speaking at the event. And in 2020, Jahari was seen photographed with a man whom CSIS alleged assisted the government of Iran in the clandestine wiring of monies into Canada. Now, after those photographs emerged, Jahari responded by saying he was unaware of the CSIS allegations when the two met. And for bringing up Jahari's name, the crowd at the ceremony let Trudeau hear it. And after that, one attendee even interrupted the Prime Minister to remind him to be more specific in his criticism of the Islamic regime, to not lump in Iran as a country, but focus his comments on the regime in particular. I mean, this guy can't go anywhere without getting heckled. It's incredible. Even at a memorial service where over 50 Canadians died, he's still getting yelled at. Incredible. Now, 2022 was no better than 2021 for Trudeau. No matter what he did, no matter where he went, he just could not avoid the constant heckling from Canadians. Now, freezing bank accounts and forcefully suppressing a peaceful protest surely wouldn't be the kind of thing to help your cause with this, but hey, to each their own, right?
The federal government has invoked the Emergencies Act.
And check this out. In his year-end interview with CTV News, Trudeau stopped the interview with Omar Sachedina while they were walking through a downtown Toronto street to approach a heckler and actually listen to what he had to say. He actually engaged with the heckler face to face. While pretending to care what the man had to say about Justin Trudeau's handling of the pandemic and mandates, the man then turned his comments to Justin Trudeau's suppression of the Freedom Convoy. And right at that very second, right at that moment, Justin Trudeau conveniently had to go on his merry way. Good timing, Justin.
Sir, why don't you come on over? Come on over. Sorry. So, what's your name? You have a first name?
I do.
What's your first name?
My name's Attila.
Hello, Attila. I'm Justin.
Yes.
So, what is your biggest concern right now?
So my biggest concern is all the restrictions that we have at the borders, the hassles that people have. I was detained coming back from Chicago.
Okay.
And I was made to
when
show
was that?
August.
August, okay. So the restrictions were still in place at that point?
Correct. Are they all gone now?
Most of them are absolutely gone, yes.
And they're going to be gone for good.
But that depends on COVID, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right? Every step of the way, we'll listen to science and doctors, and that's what
So
we
you're
get to get through
thinking
it.
what happened in Ottawa with the truckers was a good thing?
No, it wasn't. It was a very difficult time for citizens of Ottawa because it was also a difficult time for a lot of people who were worried about their futures across the country.
I was there. It was one of the most peaceful places I've ever been to.
Well, you know what? There's an open investigation. There's a level of transparency going on with the commission that will put out a report on whether you're right or me. Anyway, thank you, sir.
No matter where he went last year inside the country, Justin Trudeau was met with thunderous heckles and extremely upset Canadians, leveling and hurling all types of verbal abuse at the man. But then again, that's the job he chose to do. No one forced Trudeau to become the Prime Minister, and no one forced him to push divisive policies for the last 2 years, telling a large subset of the population where, how, and when they can travel across their own country, and telling a large subset of the population that the views they hold are unacceptable and they are a small fringe minority. I think heckles and verbal abuse, although not nice, although not polite, and not something I personally endorse, should be expected. Take a look at how the Prime Minister was received at the Calgary Stampede earlier last year.
So many people understand here, so many happy people here. I'm glad you're here with my son Xavier as well. I know you're all lots of you out here with families as well. This is a moment to gather and to celebrate.
Now, like I said at the beginning, heckling and jeering is to be expected when you're in politics, especially when you're pushing divisive policies like mandates, lockdowns, and violent suppression of peaceful protests. But nothing, I think, could prepare the Prime Minister for the reception he received in the UK. There was a full-scale protest at the foot of Downing Street aimed specifically for Trudeau, so much so that the Prime Minister had to use a back entrance to avoid having to go through them. That's gotta hurt. Not even in your own country, but across the Atlantic Ocean, he still couldn't escape the protesters. And later on last year, when he went back to London for the Queen's funeral, Justin Trudeau was yet again faced with a brutal heckler. This time, one man led the charge and really gave Justin Trudeau a piece of his mind outside the Canadian embassy. Just watch this clip. You've probably seen it before, but we're already on this path, so let's just go back and watch it again.
Canadians hate you, you fascist! You fascist bastard, Trudeau! Canadians hate your guts! Bastard! Trudeau! Fascist! Fascist bastard! Fascist! We hate you, you son of a... Get out of this country, you bastards!
Undoubtedly, the worst heckling Justin Trudeau has ever faced came during the 2021 federal election, where Canadians who weren't so pleased with the Prime Minister and the federal government made it an absolute mission of theirs to greet the Prime Minister at every single campaign stop he made on the campaign trail.
Please get vaccinated. Are you here campaigning to unmask our children? Please get vaccinated. Are you here campaigning to stop the forced vaccination? You're garbage, Trudeau! You're garbage, Trudeau Castro! Why don't you admit it?
Now, if any of you are watching this and are feeling sad or concerned for Justin Trudeau's feelings, I wouldn't worry too much. Justin Trudeau is quite used to it by now. Back in 1982, Justin Trudeau would get the first taste of what would become almost a monthly occurrence for him today. In 1982, while accompanying his father, Pierre Trudeau, on a cross-country train trip, Pierre and Justin were greeted at almost every single stop by Canadians hurling lettuce and eggs at the train car. Because of this, the press hilariously dubbed Pierre Trudeau's private train the Caesar Salad Express.
The egg-spattered train carrying vacationing Prime Minister Trudeau has been dubbed the Caesar Salad Express. But nothing could have prepared the Prime Minister for the greetings he got in Northern Ontario. In Chapleau, it was a warm welcome, baskets of eggs and bouquets of flowers. But in Sudbury, it was back to making salads.
It was the largest and probably the most unfriendly crowd on Trudeau's trip. hundreds of angry people hurled insults, tomatoes, and eggs at the private car carrying Trudeau and his 3 sons. When the tomatoes and eggs ran out, they started throwing rock. For many, Trudeau's visit was a chance to vent their anger over the economy.
Well, the more things change, the more they stay the same. All right, that's going to do it for us this week on the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Harrison Faulkner, and this is Ratio.